This is the plaintiff, Raymond Harwood. He says he put down a deposit on an RV he wanted to buy from the defendant. But when he examined the title, he noticed it had been forged. He decided the defendant was being cagey and told him he didn't want the RV any longer. And now the guy refuses to give him back his $5,000. So he's suing him for it. This is the defendant, Rob Ricciardi. He says he was selling his daughter's Winnebago. He didn't forge any documents, and this guy's trying to back out of the deal. He thinks the plaintiff's wife didn't like it after he spent 4 hours with her in 100-degree heat showing her everything. Bottom line, he isn't returning anything to this wishy-washy guy. He's accused of paperwork problems.
All parties, please raise your right hand. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Leanson presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Harewood, what happened here?
Okay, on the way picking up, there's congregants from our church that
From
we
church,
attend.
congregants for church,
Right.
okay?
And on the way there, we noticed the RV for sale.
Okay, this was in June.
In June, yes.
Beginning of June?
Yes.
Okay.
And I contacted the defendant in reference to purchasing the RV. I bought $1,000 with me. I gave it to him. He gave me a receipt.
Did you take a look at the RV?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
When did you look at the RV?
I'm going to say maybe 2-3 days after that, later.
All right, so you go by, you check out the RV, you like what you see. Did you drive it or no?
He had drove it.
With you in it?
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So you saw how it drove, and then you came back and you said, I like it, and
Right.
you put $1,000 down.
Right.
And what does he say?
He needed more than that.
To hold it.
Right.
Okay.
So I went and got $7,000 more.
Did he tell you how much more he needed?
No, I just.
All right,
bought that.
so you bring $7,000 more when?
A couple days later.
Okay.
It wasn't that
Do
far
you have a
later.
receipt for any of the money that you paid him, or did you pay him by check?
No, I have a receipt.
Can I see the receipt?
Yes. The first receipt for $1,000. Second receipt.
Okay, so it basically says, Raymond Harewood has given me a $1,000 deposit for the purchase of a 1996 Winnebago something something, and then the VIN number taken by Robert Ricciardi and a phone number. This first one doesn't have a date. The next one says June 9th, $7,000 cash for a total of $8,000, and then it says balance $10,000. So the $8,000 is completely given to him on June 9th.
Yeah.
Who is the lady who's with you?
My wife.
All right, so had she seen the RV at this point?
Yes.
So she liked it too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pay $8,000 and then what happens?
We went away, and I explained that to him, that it would be maybe a week and a half. Come back, and I asked him if I could get a picture of the title
Okay,
and his license.
okay.
I took a picture of it in my car.
Do you have that picture in your phone still?
No.
Why not?
Because I went to transfer the pictures over into my computer, and all the pictures, not just that picture, is gone.
All right, so go on.
And
When were you guys gone?
right after that is June, around June 16th,
Do you remember when your
17th.
vacation was? June what to what?
17th to the 24th.
So June 24th you come back, and when is it that you go over there and take a picture of his license and all that?
Might have been the next day.
Okay, and then what happens?
I get home, and as I'm reviewing it, I like something's wrong, and my wife.
What's wrong?
The title person, which he says was his daughter, okay, was on the title. One, it was signed. Two, I looked at his license signature and that signature, and he signed it. I could see
Okay.
that. And I called him, and I said, what's going on with the title? And he said, what? What's wrong with the title? I says, well, the person who signed it is not the person who's on the title. And he kind of like...
Well, how did you decide that, though? Based on what?
On looking at the signature and the person that the title is under.
Meaning?
One didn't match.
What didn't match?
The name.
What was the name that was signed, and what was the name on the title?
His daughter's name. He
Yeah,
said
explain how it was different.
All right, the signature.
But you don't know her signature, so how do you know that's not her signature? That's my
Because
first
you
question.
could see the name.
Say it again.
You could see the name was different.
How was it different?
In the script, it was not the same.
You're just going to keep saying that. You're not going to tell me how it was different. Like, you're not going to say, well, the name that was written there was blank blank, and the name that was on the title was blank blank, and that's how they were. You're not going to tell me how they were different.
Because I don't know the script.
Okay, so what do?
I told him, I said, I'm not going to go through with this.
And he says?
He says, well, I'm not going to give you any money until I sell this RV. I said,
Okay.
That's not right.
Do you have any, do you text or no?
Yes.
Do you have any text between the two of you?
No.
All right, what's going on?
Gentleman came, I think it was June 6th, and walked up the driveway. They took a look at it and everything. I had big signs in it. I was advertising it on media.
Now, this was what? It was an RV?
A motorhome.
Right. What kind of motorhome?
Winnebago.
How long?
33 foot.
And you were selling it for $18,000. And it was a 19 what?
1996.
Had you put a bunch of work in it?
Yes.
Whose motorhome was this?
My daughter's.
And who had put all the work in it?
I gave it to a fleet service.
Right. Okay. But
In Copac.
did you pay for the work?
Yes.
Did you pay for the motorhome originally?
No, she did.
She did. Okay. Did your daughter ever use the motorhome?
We never used it, ever.
Nobody ever used it?
No. I just would start it once every couple of weeks. What happened was COVID happened.
No, COVID is exactly what made the motorhome king. That's when that's when we bought our Sprinter van. That's when the value of motorhomes and cars went up because everybody wanted a motorhome.
Well, in
during
theory,
COVID.
but they closed all the places she wanted to go were closed.
The campgrounds.
Yes.
Well, they weren't all closed, were they?
Well, all along her route
come
that
south.
she wanted to go to.
Yeah, all you gotta do is come south.
So anyway, that's what happened.
So no one used it, but everyone else was taken to the streets. So obviously people were going somewhere because everyone was in RVs during COVID.
Well, my daughter wasn't.
Your daughter wasn't, and you weren't.
The plaintiff says he gave the defendant a deposit on a camper he was selling, but found out the title had been forged, and now he wants his money back because he can't register it. The defendant says he didn't forge anything on his daughter's camper. He was just selling it for her, and he owes the guy nothing because he backed out of the deal. Let's listen.
So your daughter moves away.
Yes.
All right, so you're selling it for your daughter, and your daughter gives you the authority to sell it.
Yes.
Obviously, she wants it sold.
Yes.
All right. Who actually signed on the...
I did it. I signed it.
In your
right
daughter...
in front of Ray, right?
Say it again.
I signed it in his car.
What do you mean in his... Oh, in front of him you signed it. So he knows that you were signing for your daughter.
Right when he gave me the deposit money the same day.
Right. Okay.
I said, oh, you're picking it up today. He led me to believe he's taking it that day.
Right.
I said, oh, I have to sign the title over. So I signed it, and my ex-wife's name is Gina, and my daughter's name is Diana. That's what he meant, the name didn't...
So what name was on there?
Gina Ricciardi, but my daughter's first name is Diana, and her middle name is Gina, so I said I just have to put Diana in front of it. After 7 weeks later, he said that was an issue.
7 weeks later. He says it was the next day.
No. He asked me, can you hold it till I get back from vacation? They're going to Georgia, Carolinas. I said, how long? A week and a half, but in 2 weeks, I want to pick it up on Thursday. I said, absolutely, I'll hold it. So I said, I'm going to bring it to get it inspected, make sure they go over the whole thing, because Ray had a cane, and I don't want any issues with any problems with the step and all. So I brought it to my mechanic. That's the yellow paper.
And,
I told him whatever it needs.
Did you pay your mechanic to take a
Yes.
look? Really?
I said, whatever it needs.
This is after you got...
After he gave me the deposit. And I have the inspection date here. The inspection was done on the 9th.
So you really did do this. You paid an additional $1,743.
Yeah, that's after the $12,300 when I bought it, when she bought it, that I wanted everything good for my daughter.
Right.
It was in perfect condition.
So wait. Hold on. Let me hold on to this feeling here. So someone had already bought it, and you, on your own initiative...
Oh, absolutely.
Because you saw that he walked with a cane. You wanted to make sure everything was great.
There's so many things inside of an RV that to work.
So
and I never used it, so.
You paid $1,743.43 to make sure that what he'd already bought was going to be great.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's good for him. It has to pass inspection and everything, too, you know.
Oh, so I guess, okay. Was this stuff you had to pay in order to get it inspected?
No, the guy's paying me what I asked, because I would have took $2,000 less because the mechanic wanted it and as is. I said, you know what, if I got to put a couple thousand into it to make it perfect for him, it's okay with me.
All right. So then he comes back from vacation.
And I'm calling him. He's not calling me. And I'm calling him. And I'm calling him. Finally he answered the phone. And he says, oh, I'm coming over there tomorrow. Come over the next day. I want to look at the engine. All right, you want to look at the engine. How are we doing that? It's a big thing to take the whole engine cover off from inside and all. He goes, well, I want to come and maybe we could take it for a drive. I said, absolutely. Did you ever own an RV before? He said, no, I've never owned one. I said, you know what? Let's put a few hours aside for this, and I'll show you how everything works.
How many hours did you take?
Over 4 hours.
4 hours that you were with them?
Yes.
Doing what? Explaining how everything works?
Showing that the air conditioner works for the chassis, the air conditioner works for the RV, the heat works, the propane tanks, how you use it. Every single thing about the RV, I showed him everything. Took him for a drive, took him driving. He wanted the engine cover off, which is difficult for me because I know he's got walking issues, and I do also. And I took all that off and did all of that for him.
So in any event, that happens, and then what?
He was totally happy. He said, I'll be back Thursday.
And did he come back Thursday?
Nope.
So, and what is, do you call?
I called him and called him and called him until he answered the phone. And he said, can you hold it another week? And then he said, can I come back and can I take that manual? The manual's this big. And study it. I said, all right, but I can't hold it for more than another week because, July 1st comes, I'm going on vacation. Oh, I'll take it the Thursday before that. Okay. No problem.
So he comes over, he takes the manual.
Have a good day. See, still never heard any problem with the title.
By this point, had he taken a picture of the title?
Yeah, he took a picture of the title when I gave him the deposit.
Okay.
That couple of days later when I gave him he gave me the
June
deposit.
9th.
He took the picture then.
Okay, go on.
So anyhow, I finally get in touch with him again. He's not calling me at all, but I got this guy's money.
Right.
So he finally answered the phone on a Wednesday because I said, I need to know, do you want me to deliver this? Do you want to pick it up? What are you doing? And this is at the end of, near the end of July. And he says,
July?
Yeah. It's like 7 weeks later. He said, there's too many variables. I'm not taking it. I go,
What variables?
That's what I said.
Right.
And he said, the title. I go, what's the matter with the title? So he told me the signature. I said, hold on. I went in there and looked and I go, oh. I said, I put my ex-wife's name, but that's her middle name anyway. Right in front of it. It's not altered. It's fine. I could just put Diana in front of Diana Gina Vishardi. It's not a problem.
Are you under the impression that there's going to be a problem with the title if he signs it on behalf of his daughter?
Not only that, I asked him to go to DMV with me. He ain't say nothing about that. I said, will you go to DMV with me?
Did he ask you to go to DMV with him?
No, I don't know anything about going to DMV. I never went to DMV since I'm 16.
Right, but did he say, if there's a problem, will you help me clear it up?
I said, if there's a problem, I'll order a new title tomorrow for you.
Right.
Who cares?
See, the thing is, it's not, people may think it is, but it's not a forgery if you sign someone else's name with their authority. So if DMV were to give you a problem because, the name is scrunched on the top, so it's suspicious looking, then you just order another title.
I had no
that's
idea.
not going to be that big a deal. But it doesn't give you a chance to back up. See, I got to make sure you didn't just, hold up his sale from the beginning of the summer, which is when people want an RV, till the end of the summer when people don't want an RV, and then say, you know what, I changed my mind. Maybe this RV's too much for me, so give me back my deposit and have a good life. That can't happen. Deposits are non-refundable. That's why I asked to see your receipts too, to see why you're under the impression it would be refundable. You would be entitled to the refund of a deposit if there was a problem with the title. You'd be entitled to the whole money back if you paid for it, if there was a problem with the title. But you're just anticipating a problem because you feel that there's going to be a problem, but there hasn't been a problem yet. And if you want to prove to me that he refused to go, that you said, all right, will you go to DMV, and he refused to, he's saying you never even offered that. You just said, too many variables, I want my money back. What are the other variables?
No, that was it. I told him, I said, if you're not going to go to DMV with me, then
I'm going to
cannot
need you
go
to
through
prove
this.
that you asked him if there's a problem will you go to DMV with me, and that he said no. Can you prove that?
No.
Yeah, because he says that never happened.
Yeah.
And according to him, you just said too many variables, I want my money back.
Can I
Go
say
ahead.
one more
Other
thing?
thing-
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
but I got the idea that he was trying to broker this thing and sell it to somebody.
Why did you get that idea?
Because he was asking me questions, it sounded like for somebody else. Because he's
Like
asked
what?
New questions. How when you do this when you winterize it, how does this work when you do that? Like, why didn't he ask me that the time before?
Maybe it didn't occur to him, and then he talked to somebody, and it occurred to
Okay,
him.
well,
That
that's
doesn't-
all I wanted to add.
Were
I
you guys
have
buying it
nothing
for
else.
yourselves or going to resell it?
No, it was for us. And that's the
Did you
other
end up
thing.
buying an RV?
No, we plan to.
Okay. What I would like to know is, did you end up selling it?
Yes,
All right. And how much did you have to sell it for?
10,000.
And you were selling it to him for 18.
Right. And I had someone for 16 without touching it. And I told him that. That's why he showed up. He showed up the very next day with the 7,000. I said, I would not hold this for $1,000. I'll show it this weekend, and then I'll talk to you when you get back from your vacation. He goes, nope, I'll see you tomorrow. He came with 7,000.
Right. See, but, they don't want you to do anything, but then
Well,
they
he
want to
said
do.
take- he
Then
said
they
take-
want to back out 2 months
Take
later.
the
and
for
it-
sale
yeah.
signs off. He said,
Yeah.
it's mine. It's mine. So.
Yeah.
And every time I spoke to him, I asked him, are you sure you want this thing? Because people were asking me, because I did advertise it.
There's no problem with the title. You have no reason to believe there's going to be a problem with the title.
No, the new guy
until
was
there's
fine.
By the way, did you have to go to DMV with the new guy?
No.
No, he just registered it and everything was
Yeah.
fine.
It wasn't altered or anything.
No. But DMV can be a pain, and But
Yeah, but I never heard about
he
it till
doesn't
7
strike
weeks
me
later.
as the kind of guy. If he spends 4 hours in the heat showing you the darn thing, and it lets you take off with his manual when you haven't even paid for it, which I wouldn't do.
Well, I told him I'd give him driver's lessons, to get him used to it, because it's such an easy RV to drive. It's
Driving
just-
lessons?
Yeah, he just comes from the same town.
Okay, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would say, "Nah, I'm not going to DMV. You're on your own. Take your chances." It just doesn't strike me that way. I am not going to order him to repay the deposit. In this case, I'm ruling in favor of the defendant.
So the plaintiff fails in his effort to get his deposit returned. The judge says no way, he loses. So let's see how he responds. Mr. Harewood, I don't know about you, but having listened to all this testimony, I think you missed out on a good deal on a motorhome. What do you think?
Well, there was situations like I said in the beginning that didn't look right with the title.
Well, listen, the judge said the title really was not an issue for you and not a big problem. And that should not be any reason for her to give you your deposit back. Deposits are non-refundable.
Well, I understand that.
Okay, well, what can I say? Case is over, you lost. Hope you find a motorhome sometime in the future
I will.
that works for you.
All right.
So the defendant gets to keep his deposit. The judge says he does not have to give it back. He prevails. Mr. Riccardi, let me ask you how you feel about the outcome of this case.
I feel good, but I feel bad for Ray.
Really? I think you liked him, and you did everything you could to make it work for him.
All I could.
All righty. Well, listen, you sold it. It's over and done now. You don't have it anymore. So what can I say? Good luck.
Doug, there is a concept in the law: damages cannot be speculative or hypothetical. You have to prove you actually lost the money, and if you can't, you don't get it.
I'm going to be late for my storage unit monthly payment. How long do you have before they start to sell or throw away your stuff?
It kind of reminds me of, what's that movie we love?
The one about the dog show.
The dog show, right? And standing at the hotel lobby, and they say, "I'm sorry, your card's been declined."
Best in show.
Best in show.
Right.
And she says, "No, we have until the second notice." You know.
Right.
Don't be late, because it's really going to depend on the contract that you have with your storage unit.
That's going to spell it out.
That's going to spell it out, just how long you have. And then there's also some states that actually regulate this industry and say you've got to give them this much time. You have to send a certified letter to the address last known, and you have to wait X amount of time until after the certified letter. But, let's not try to play fast and loose with this. Just try not to be late. You know?
and
Most places won't sell your stuff the next day. That's not going to happen.
It's going to take 30 to 90
It's
days
probably,
or something.
I wouldn't say 90. I would say
take a little
you
while.
got a week or two, especially, and if you're going to be late, call the person you owe the money to and just say to them, because this particular business, say, "Listen, I'm having a hard time. I will have my payment," so that they don't start the procedure that they are obligated legally to start, and that buys you a little time.
Yeah, and there's a part of me, mean, part of me, I feel sorry for the people who are going to lose their stuff, but then there's a part of me that says, well, if they didn't have this arrangement, we wouldn't have Storage Wars, you know, these shows, Storage Wars Texas.
Which are so valuable
Storage
to me.
Wars Canada, Storage Wars Pocatello.
You love
It's
watching
one
that.
for everything, right? And you sit there, it's like, it's human nature. You want to know what's behind door number 3, and it's like, it's a big mystery for the whole thing. What are they going to find in there? Are they going to find some amazing
Is it going to be a diamond ring, or is it just garbage?
And it's usually just crappy stuff.
It's usually just garbage.
I can still
It's
turn
like
it.
Al Capone's
Right.
vault.
I still got to watch.